Imagine facing the most stressful day of your career. Deadlines loom, criticism stings, uncertainty clouds every decision. Now picture having the mental toolkit of a Roman emperor who ruled for 2 decades while facing plagues, wars, and betrayals, yet maintained his composure throughout it all. Marcus Aurelius Meditations offers a rare glimpse into how one of history's most powerful leaders cultivated unshakable inner strength. Written as private notes during military campaigns, these reflections provide practical philosophy that transforms how you handle stress, make decisions, and find meaning in an unpredictable world. Written in the 2nd century as personal reflections, never intended for publication, Meditations represents Stoic philosophy at its most practical. Its central thesis: through rational self-discipline and acceptance of nature's order, we can achieve tranquility regardless of external circumstances. Understanding Stoic philosophy requires familiarity with key concepts. The dichotomy of control distinguishes what we can and cannot influence. Virtue represents excellence of character through wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance. Logos refers to the rational order of the universe. The cornerstone of Marcus Aurelius' philosophy is the dichotomy of control. This isn't about passive acceptance. It's about channeling your energy where it can actually create change. As Marcus faced invasions, plagues, and political upheaval, he returned to this fundamental truth. In his own words, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." This perspective transforms every challenge from a source of anxiety into an opportunity for growth. This principle applies directly to modern life. Consider receiving harsh feedback at work. The Stoic approach isn't to dismiss criticism or suppress emotions. Instead, acknowledge what you cannot control, the other person's opinion, and focus intensely on what you can, your response, and future improvements. Practical applications include the 2-column exercise. Each morning, write concerns in plows within my control and plum outside my control columns. Focus exclusively on the first. This practice trains your mind to automatically distinguish between the 2 domains. Neuroscience confirms what Marcus intuited. Anxiety typically stems from ruminating on factors outside our influence. By redirecting mental energy toward actionable elements, you reduce stress while increasing effectiveness in addressing what truly matters. For Marcus Aurelius, virtue wasn't an abstract concept. It was the practical foundation for every decision. He identified 4 cardinal virtues that served as his compass: wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance. This virtue-based approach differs radically from modern success metrics. Marcus understood that happiness comes from within, writing, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." This insight shifts focus from external achievements to internal character development. These 4 pillars provide practical guidance for daily decisions. Wisdom means seeking truth and questioning assumptions. Justice involves considering others' well-being. Courage means facing difficulties without avoidance. Temperance requires practicing moderation and self-discipline. Implementing virtue in daily life can be as simple as the morning virtue check. Before starting your day, ask, "How can I embody wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance today?" This creates intentionality around character rather than just task completion. The beauty of virtue-based living is its independence from external circumstances. You can practice courage in a boardroom presentation or a difficult family conversation. Justice applies whether managing a team or choosing how to treat service workers. Perhaps no theme runs deeper through meditations than Marcus's unflinching contemplation of mortality. Far from morbid obsession, his practice of memento mori, remembering death, served as a powerful tool for clarity, gratitude, and purposeful living. It is not death that a man should fear, but never beginning to live, Marcus wrote, understanding that death awareness paradoxically enhances life appreciation. This wasn't philosophical abstraction. He lost children and faced his own mortality during plagues. Death awareness transforms daily life in 4 key ways. It creates urgency without panic, helps prioritize relationships, focuses attention on the present moment, and encourages thinking about the legacy you wish to leave behind. Practical memento mori practices include weekly reflection on what truly matters, gratitude through imagining loss, legacy, journaling about the impact you want to have, and using the deathbed test before major decisions. Did you know Meditations consists of 12 books written over approximately 20 years? Despite being Roman emperor, Marcus Aurelius spent his free time journaling philosophical reflections that would become one of the 3 core texts of Stoic philosophy. Common misconceptions about Stoicism include viewing it as emotional suppression. In reality, Stoicism advocates managing emotions through reason, not suppressing them. Marcus himself experienced deep emotions but sought to understand and direct them productively. Another misconception is that Meditations was a formal philosophical treatise. In truth, it was a private journal of self-reflection, not meant for publication, focused on personal improvement rather than public instruction. This explains its intimate, sometimes repetitive nature. Some misinterpret Stoic acceptance as passive resignation to suffering and injustice. However, acceptance in Stoicism pertains only to what cannot be changed. For everything else, Stoicism encourages active virtue and justice within what we can control. To apply Marcus's wisdom today, we must translate ancient context to modern challenges. The emperor's military campaigns become our career obstacles. His court intrigues parallel our office politics. His reflections on mortality apply to our digital distractions from what truly matters. Marcus Aurelius faced betrayals, military defeats, and personal losses that would devastate most people. Yet he developed sophisticated techniques for emotional regulation that modern psychology now validates. His approach wasn't about suppressing feelings, but understanding their origins. As Marcus wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This insight forms the foundation of cognitive behavioral therapy, developed 100 years after Marcus wrote these words. The Stoic emotional regulation framework involves 4 steps: noticing the initial impression or emotional response, analyzing the judgments creating the emotion, testing reality by separating facts from interpretations, and choosing a conscious response based on virtue. Practical techniques include the view from above, imagining your situation from a cosmic perspective to gain proportion, negative visualization, mentally rehearsing potential setbacks, and present moment return, anchoring attention in immediate reality when anxiety arises. Consider receiving unfair criticism at work. The Stoic approach involves recognizing initial anger, examining thoughts like, "Altal, this is terrible," separating facts from interpretations, and choosing a response based on virtue, perhaps seeking to understand their perspective. Modern research validates this approach, showing that cognitive reappraisal, reframing situations, is more effective than suppression for long-term well-being and stress reduction. Marcus's ancient wisdom aligns with cutting-edge psychological research. Despite wielding absolute power, Marcus Aurelius consistently emphasized duty to the common good. His philosophy recognized fundamental human interconnectedness, not as abstract idealism, but as practical wisdom for effective living and leadership. Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be one. This powerful quote from Marcus reminds us that philosophy isn't merely theoretical. It demands practical application through action and service to others. Marcus saw every person as part of a larger organism, making selfishness ultimately self-defeating. What brings no benefit to the hive can bring no benefit to the bee, he wrote, understanding that individual flourishing depends on collective well-being. This principle translates to modern life through stakeholder decision-making, considering effects on family, colleagues, and community, collaborative leadership seeking mutual benefit, and empathetic communication approaching conflicts through understanding rather than winning. Simple daily practices include starting each day asking, how can I contribute positively to others today? Acknowledging interdependence through gratitude, looking for small ways to help others, and considering how your actions affect future generations. Research confirms this approach, showing that people who focus on contributing to others report higher life satisfaction, better health, and stronger relationships than those focused solely on personal gain. Marcus's ancient wisdom aligns with modern well-being research. For Marcus Aurelius, living according to nature meant aligning with both human nature as rational, social beings and universal nature, the logos or rational principle governing everything. This wasn't about primitive life, but expressing our highest human capacities. Taoists constantly regard the universe as one living being, having one substance and one soul, Marcus wrote, seeing himself as part of an interconnected cosmos rather than an isolated individual fighting against reality. Living according to nature involves 4 elements: rational thinking, using logic rather than emotion for decisions; social connection, recognizing humans as cooperative beings; acceptance of change as natural, and virtue expression as our natural excellence. Practical implementation includes morning reasoning practice, aligning with natural rhythms, rational problem solving, approaching relationships with empathy, and accepting change as opportunity rather than threat. These practices build resilience and clarity. This approach proves particularly valuable in our information-saturated age. Living according to reason means developing media literacy, questioning sources, seeking multiple perspectives, and making decisions based on evidence rather than emotional manipulation. Importantly, Marcus's concept of reason wasn't cold calculation, but integrated all human faculties, intellectual, emotional, and intuitive, in service of wise living. Neuroscience confirms this approach, showing effective decisions integrate rational analysis with emotional wisdom. Marcus Aurelius wrote Meditations as private notes, never intending them for publication. Yet these reflections guide millions through centuries of change because they address universal challenges, finding meaning in uncertainty, maintaining integrity under pressure, building resilience without losing compassion. The emperor's insights remain relevant because he focused on what doesn't change: the human capacity for virtue, the reality of impermanence, the power of perspective, and our fundamental interconnectedness. These principles apply whether navigating career transitions or seeking deeper fulfillment. Start with one principle that resonates most strongly. Practice it consistently for a week, then gradually integrate others. Remember, Marcus developed these practices over decades. Transformation takes time. The beauty lies in finding wisdom in daily experience. For your reflection practice, consider which area of life most needs Stoic wisdom right now. Is it controlling reactions to others, accepting impermanence, finding purpose in duty? Choose one principle and create a micro-practice to implement daily for the next week. For your micro-practice, try the morning dichotomy of control exercise. Each day for 1 week, list your concerns in 2 columns: so within my control zone and while outside my control. Focus your energy exclusively on the first column. Notice how this shifts your perspective. For conversation, share with someone close to you the Stoic principle that most resonates with you. Ask them which principle they find most valuable or challenging. Discuss how these ancient ideas might apply to shared challenges you both face. Make sure to like and subscribe for more philosophy insights. Get your own copy of Meditations through the link in the description to start applying these principles today.